Super Plus.
Greetings and welcome to the Hills of Steel 2 tank series. I am your host Andrew and I will be guiding you through each of these available tanks. We kick things off with the Joker, the classic tank of the game. This is one of the tanks you will first become familiar with as you play the game to unlock more. But do not let the fact that this is a beginner tank fool you. Joker still packs a punch. As you can see, there are a number of skins available for our smallest tank, as well as a number of attachments. Let's take a look at those. Joker is one of our more well-rounded tanks. Where he lacks in defensive stats, he makes up for in a little damage, speed, and as you will see soon, range. You can see these stats on the right hand side of the screen as you look at this tank. Of course, with the attachments you're able to boost these, whether it's damage, special power, movement speed, or various others. For now, I'm going to go with increased damage, increased special power, and increased movement speed. And of course, you're able to play it however you wish. Now, let's take a look at Joker in action. And let's start things off with a little bit of Rampage. In Rampage, with the objective being 3 versus 3, most kills wins, there's a number of different ways to play Joker. Because of his range and his ability to hide behind hills, he actually plays as a very good support. That means if you have a team with a good front line, you can sit back and do a lot of damage to support your team. Another advantage of Joker is his ultimate ability. After racking up a few kills, you'll be able to fire off a large cannon blast. This will do a large circular area of damage. In some cases, it can even kill off a number of tanks if they're not careful with their health. Use this to your advantage, as when you hit multiple enemies with it, it will rebuild very quickly, so you can consecutively fire off large cannon blasts. Another interesting part of the cannon blast is actually the kickback that it has. Whoa! Let's see that again. And one more time in slow motion. Perfection. The cannon blast with its kickback actually allows you to escape from situations very easily. Therefore, if you have it ready and you find yourself in a dire situation, you can use it to escape. It doesn't matter if you are able to do damage to the enemies, as long as you stay safe. So all of this, the speed, the damage, the size, and the ultimate, allows you to play as a great support character. You can be aggressive with it as well if you want. The one thing to remember, however, is that even though you are small, if you are hit, you will take a lot of damage and you will die very quickly. So whether you're being supportive or aggressive, make sure to be careful of your health. And of course, always remember to use the terrain to your advantage. If you have a perfect little hill that you can sit behind, fire your shots over without taking any damage while your team hold them back, perfect. But let's take a look at a different game mode to see Joker in action. In Star Catch, the objective being collect a set number of stars and then hold on to those stars until the timer clicks through. This means that the Joker can really shine as a support character in this mode, especially when you have the right team composition. As you can see in this, we have a good front line that will be able to push into the enemy, hold them back, and we can sit back doing damage from range, collecting the stars, and holding on to them to try and claim victory. The risks of course being that if your front line dies, you will be left on your own, and as a non-defensive character, you are going to struggle. So make sure you play carefully, retreat when need be, and support your team the best you can. Of course, if you have a team full of aggressive players and tanks, this can still work as well. As long as you take control of the starry area, you can send a lot of damage forward to hold back the enemy. This is another game mode that is actually perfect for your ultimate. Because the enemy team will be charging in together to try and collect the stars that are gathered in a singular area, using your ultimate to hit that area will do a lot of damage and help control the game. Let's take a look at that in action. As you can see, our teammate is holding them back, and we're able to fire off the ultimate, do a lot of damage, and claim all the stars that we need for our team to be victorious. Playing like this will also help you in other game modes like Bunker, where you can sit back, do a lot of damage from range, and help take your team to victory. Now that we've had a look at these, let's take a look at another game mode, Boss Battle. In Boss Battle, there is of course two modes to play, in the attacking team as 3, or as the boss itself. Let's take a look at the team mode first. In the Boss Battle team mode, things change a little bit for Joker. You can still play defensive, but at the same time you kind of have to get aggressive in order to take the boss down. Our main weakness in this one is of course anything that is close range. We can once again use the hills to our advantage, aim our shots carefully, but if we get caught, it'll be instant death. This is one of those moments again where you can use your teammates as a front line, do damage from behind, or it depends. With the right tank, you're able to push in closely, try and do as much damage as you can, as you can see here. We're getting pushed, so the best thing to do is to just push right in, do damage, die and restart. Of course, if you're using the right attachments, like I have increased movement speed, I can be right back into the battle relatively quick. So always make sure that depending on the game mode you're playing, you have the right attachments and how you want to play. If you want to be able to die, respawn and get back into the action, then movement speed is a good answer. If you want to be able to support your team, sit behind the front line and do a lot of damage, damage. Now let's take a look at what happens when you're the boss. As a Joker, because you are raised a little higher with your shots, it means that you can very easily be pushed. Because I'm little Joker at the moment, I'm able to get underneath the larger Joker's size, which means that I can sit there doing a lot of damage and he is unable to actually do anything in return. This means we can get a very quick victory. This does not mean that Joker is a bad boss. With the right positioning, you can actually become an absolute unstoppable force without ever having to move. As you can see here in the map, I've managed to get myself into a nice little position using the hill for coverage, and with the range and angle of my shot means that I can safely fire shots over the top. This now makes it difficult for the attacking enemies. Do they charge in? Do they try and find a way to sit back and do damage? Or is it an automatic GG? As you can see, because of their composition, they are unable to push quite well, which means that I can take control of the situation, lob bullets over the top, and claim victory. So when playing Joker, make sure to take a look at the game mode you want to play, the attachments that you're going to have on him to make sure that they actually benefit to the game mode, get the right position so that you can angle correctly, and if you're playing with the team, make sure that you actually play with the team, either as support sitting behind doing damage, or backflipping your way in and out to ensure that you're doing both defensive and aggressive play. Although these are just some hints and tips, there are many different ways that you can play Joker, so feel free to experiment, find what suits you, but most of all, have fun. This concludes our quick look at Joker. It is also the first video of this series, so if there is a tank that you are interested in, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that you can get the notifications for when we do that particular video. Also, don't forget to follow our social medias, all the links are below. There you'll be able to keep up to date with everything Hills of Steel 2, and of course Hills of Steel 1 as we produce more content in the future. You can also join up with our Discord, where you can interact and chat with other Hills of Steel 2 community members. Finally, don't forget to leave us a comment below. Let us know, do you play Joker? Do you have any hints and tips for the new community? How exactly do you play him? Or are there other tanks that you play, and what would you like to see in the future? Thanks for joining us, and we will see you soon on the hills.